So in function 1, let's study for the concept of pointers. Actually, pointers is a very crucial topic in C++ programming. So without having the concrete and the solid understanding of pointers, you cannot be a competent C++ programmer. As you read any typical professionally written code, C++ code, you will see a lot of C pointers are there. So it's a very important. So let's have a review from previous course programming 1 and let's study here. So variable, as you declare, we know that we need to give a type and then name of the variable. So this is integer variable p is created and double variable and then character variable or in Boolean variable and the like. And then you can assign value like that, or you can assign value at the time of declaring a variable, the like. So what does it? What happens as you declare a variable? Inside the computer memory, as you run the program, when you declare a variable, a storage is created, a physical storage is created. And then for each variable like a P, D, C, and B, a variable is created. And then a variable has three properties, three attributes. First attribute of the storage is a label of the storage, label of the variable. The label of the variable, just imaginary thing for this physical storage. Just imagine this storage is a box. Then you can attach a label. And then the label of the storage is called the variable name in C++ program. So a variable name P is just a label, imaginary label of the storage. The second attribute is a value and the contents in the storage. So in P equals 10, you assign 10. You store 10 into the variable value. And then third attribute of the storage is called the location information. Location information is a third attribute. In C++, this location information is called the address in C++. In some other languages like Java or many other modern languages, it is called the reference of the storage, Java and the like. So here in this program, we have implicitly used the label of the storage and then value of the storage. But we haven't used any reference information of those variables yet. So how then do we how to get the location or address in C++ of a variable? C++ has a ampersand operator. After the ampersand, give the existing variable like a p, then we get the address of a p. Address of a p you can try to store into variable named x. Variable is to store a value, so integer value, double value, char or bool value, you can declare variable and store that. But here, the value here is address of the variable, not integer. P is integer variable, but address of a variable is not an integer. So we need to declare variable x in a different way. If I simply say int x, this is an error because x is to store integer value, not the address of integer variable. So this is an error. Then how do we declare variable x? Between int and x, we give a special symbol, star there. So when you declare a variable x as if you declare integer variable, then this variable x is not an integer variable, but variable x is a pointer variable. Pointer variable. Pointer variable, in short, we say just a pointer. Okay, we say variable as optional. So pointer variable is the variable to store address of other variable. When you declare pointer variable, you need to declare the address of what type of a variable. Here, P is a integer variable. So address of integer variable, you need to specify int for that purpose, which means in X, I cannot store address of a D variable because D is of a double type. So you cannot store that. So if you want to store address of a D, then we need to declare pointer again, which is now double star and x2. We need to declare it this way. Now x2 is a pointer variable, a variable to store address, but not any kind of address, only address of a double type variable. So that is the very basic concept of a pointer. So similarly, if I want to store a variable or address of a variable C, which is char type, so I need to declare x3 this way, char star this way. And the C++ white spaces like a blank are not a part of the grammar, so you can give a blank this way or that way or even this way, all allowed, no error there. But doing something like this is in the early stage of C and C++. This was most popular syntax for pointer declaration, but nowadays we use more like this way, meaning that this one is in double address type. X2 is double address type, X is integer address type, and the like. So this is the very idea of a pointer. So remember, pointer is nothing but a variable, but it stores only address. When you declare pointer variable, you need to specify type of the variable for whose address you are going to store. That comes before star.